Good morning. Welcome to the JagCorner. Again, starting off a new week, starting off a new couple of streams. We're going back to some gaming. Today we're going to continue playing Myst, and hopefully tomorrow we'll beat it. We have, I think, 2 more ages left. There might be 3 technically, and there's a little bit after the ages that we'll have to do. There'll be some time spent there. But we've done, just looking at my notes here, we've done the Channelwood age and the Mechanical age, and so I'm not sure which one we'll pick next. We'll probably do the one with the ship. I'm not sure what that age is called. We'll go look at the book, see if we can figure out the name really quick. But yeah, we're going to go do that one. I think that's actually one of the easier ones, so we should get through that fairly quick today. Depending on how long that takes, I may get started on the last one, because I know the last one takes quite a bit more time. There's a lot more navigation going on. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing today. I think I'm set up everywhere. Let me know if my audio is off or something like that. It looks fine on my end. Doesn't look like there's any weird hums or anything. I have the Jaguar turned down right now, and so I'll have to remember to turn that up once we start playing. But yeah, before we get started, I wanted to go over some news. There's been some interesting things that have cropped up over the last week that we can talk about. So let me switch over to that. First off, though, head over to JagCorner.com and sign up for our newsletter. I'm trying to build an email list. I just feel for future just outreach on my projects, it'd be best if you're interested in my work to sign up for that newsletter. I'm planning on doing exclusive content there, of course, but any major updates will be updated first through the newsletter before I go to anything like the Atari Age forums or Twitter or Facebook or something. And so if you want the scoop, as they used to say, first, that's where you sign up, is on the newsletter. But also talk about just Jag things in general. There's some breakdowns of my games. For my upcoming game called Crescent Memories, which is a compilation of 3 games. There's a Flappy Bird clone called Flappy McFur, which I did release back in 2016. This is going to be slightly, it's functionally the same game. I've learned a lot over the last, what has it been, 6 years now? Gosh, 6 years. And so I've gone through and updated the code, so it runs a lot better, it plays a lot better. And then Oddball, which is basically a Pong clone. It does have some things that mix things up, like things in the center that pop up, different items that change the gameplay a little bit. And then Audit Will Be Watching, which is a menu-driven survival game. Right now I'm deciding whether I want to expand on that brief description. It's based off of an existing game, or inspired by an existing game called The Gods Will Be Watching, and mine has taken quite a different route in terms of the mechanics. It's a lot simpler because I'm only one guy working on this. But yeah, it's fun, looks nice, has an interesting play loop on it. Some people are going to like it, some people won't, I don't think. I need to do some more playtesting before I decide on that, but anyways, yeah, you can learn about those games. I also do some blog posts on some of the artwork I've done for recent Jaguar releases, and also some posts about specific, basically tutorials, and really just reminders for me for future work on how to do certain things in the Removers library, which is the C library I use to develop Jag games with, done by Seb of the Removers. So I believe I don't know, I should talk to him a bit more about this to get the scoop, right? Get the scoop on why he decided to develop the Removers library. Obviously he has a passion for the Jag. The other obvious reason I can see why he put the library together was for Another World, which that is another news item I don't actually have here, but they are doing a 3rd run, I believe it's the 3rd run of Another World for the Atari Jaguar, and that's one reason why Seb built the Removers library, was to develop that game. Anyways, it's been a very useful library, and I'm planning on doing this game with it, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to do some future games with it as well. before I move over to something like Jag Studio. So I'm comfortable with it. It's where I learned C code, and we'll get back to some more programming next week. We're working on the 240p test suite, which is just a set of tools for people to calibrate their CRT monitors. We're coming up on finishing that fairly quickly, so yeah, look forward to that. Is there anything else? I don't think there's anything else here. So, oh, what was it? There was an update I was going to talk to you about. It's gone. Hopefully I'll remember. Oh, darn it. Oh, I talked about it. It was Another World. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So they're doing their third run, and usually they sell out pretty quick, but they must be hitting the ceiling on how many people are interested in this, because there was somebody on the forum that's involved with the project. Can't remember who. Pretty sure. Go jump on the Atari Age forums and double check. I'm not going to dig for that right now. It'd take me a while to dig for that, but it is there, and they mentioned that there are extra copies that are unclaimed. So if you are still looking for a copy of Another World, I believe that the door is still open for that. So okay, there are a few news items. Phobos has been hard at work. Phobos is he's released, I think, 3 games for the Jag, technically 4 now, and we'll get to that. Spidey X is one, Wormhole 2000, and Kings of Edom. And Kings of Edom was really good. The other 2 games are they're fun little, very small arcade games that are good in their own right. But Phobos is trudging forward on making games for the Jag, and he teased everybody with a little bit of the 3D work he's doing. In fact, I'll just play this. It's not much to look at, but because he's having to record this with a handheld cam, I assume a cell phone, because I think he's having some issues with the emulator playing back stuff correctly. And so, but he has some 3D objects with the HUD, very much like I like this HUD. It kind of reminds me of that black and orange scheme that you saw with the Atari. What was it? The Atari 400, Atari 800. Anyways, I kind of like that. But yeah, so it'll be exciting to see another space shooter on the Jag. We have there's Space War 2000, which was a unfinished title that was later released by, I believe, Songbird, or maybe B&C Computer Visions. I can't remember who published that one finally. And that one's very much in an unfinished state. Some parts of it are finished, seem finished, but other parts don't. But it's a space shooter. And then a more complete game is Battlesphere, which is kind of like Star Raiders, but has a lot more depth, has multiplayer capabilities and stuff like that. And that game runs pretty well. It's seems to run pretty well, anyways, from what I've seen. But yeah, it'll be cool to get another space shooter there. So hopefully we'll get to see that project finished. The other project, which is kind of teased right here, is a action-adventure RPG, kind of in the vein of, let me stop this, in the vein of Legend of Zelda. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear that. That may be... Oh yeah, you can hear that. That's playing. Yeah, so it has the flip screen scrolling. And you have slimes, skeletons throwing bones. It seems pretty familiar, doesn't it? Anybody who's played a Zelda game. So that's pretty cool. Something else I wanted to comment on this is, so he's been playing around with Cry color mode on the Atari Jaguar. And if you're not familiar with Cry, it's a different way of interpreting color, digitally, different way of interpreting color. And what it is I think if I remember right, Cry means cyan, red, and yellow. I think that's what it is, or Y for intensity for some reason. And basically what it is you have three color vectors. You have an X and Y, which goes from like magenta to red and cyan to yellow, and so those two colors are mixing. And then you have a third vector for intensity, and I think of that as a vertical. So you have your 2D plane, your X and Y plane of that magenta to red and cyan to yellow, and then you have an intensity plane, which is your vertical, so you go from dark to light. And what's cool about that is the intensity has 8 bits to work with in terms of intensity, and so you can do pretty smooth gradients for glow effects and for shadow effects, and that's what makes this pretty cool. And I think he has a video showcasing this. Let me find, yeah. So you can do things like lamps or shadows under characters, and you'll see that the things, sorry for the strobing, it's his camera isn't synced to the refresh rate on his monitor, but yeah, so his enemies and his character have this glow effect on them, but you could also do shadows if you wanted to. I was actually tinkering around with this, and I kind of want to show it now. Maybe I'll show it now. It's not quite done. Yeah, let me see if I can get that pulled up really quick. I decided, because I had never fooled around with this, I'd never wrapped my hand around cry color or anything like that, but I decided to spend some time figuring this out. Let's see here, cry tests, and make VJ. Yeah, there we go. And you're seeing it really small. Let me see if it's on top. Oh, good, it's on top of Myst. So you have this tiled background in the background, and I'm totally not teasing anything there, but you'll see that I have this shadowed box, and it shadows everything behind it. And I can actually control, if you look down here, we have the cry value. I think you can see my cursor. Yeah, you can see my cursor. And so your X vector is here, and your Y vector is here. So those are both 4-bit values. So they're half a byte. I think they call that a nibble. I think that's the correct term for it. And then you have a byte for the intensity. And so right now that intensity is not quite, obviously not halfway. Halfway you wouldn't be able to see anything. In fact, I can show that. If you go to the halfway point, which is at 0, see if I can get it close, you'll see that the box has disappeared. And now if I push up, you'll see that it gets brighter. And so you can do glow effects with that. Yeah, do glow effects, make that really intense. And then you can control the X and Y vector. So if I can control the X vector, I can push that over to a red. And right now the cyan is kind of halfway between cyan and yellow, and that's why it's a little bit orange. So if I drop that closer to the blue end, it actually drops it out. And so we get a nice solid red going on there. Drop the intensity a little bit so you can actually see stuff behind it. And so you can imagine you can do all sorts of cool stuff outside of glows and shadows. You could do things like stained glass windows or God rays coming through a window. Another one I thought, and I actually tested this out, so if you hit option in this little demo, it brings it out to full screen. You can do, and I thought this was really awesome, you could do a day-night cycle. Let me see if I can get that kind of, yeah, so kind of have this blue, and if I drop this down, we can go kind of to a nighttime and give it a blue hue. Let's see here. Yeah, you can really give it kind of this purple bluish hue. Or you can do like a sunset. So if I leave it at about halfway on the blue and bump it back up to an orange and then increase the intensity, you can kind of get this twilight sunset. And so what I was thinking is, in whatever game I work on next, in fact, I'm actually thinking about adding this to Audit We'll Be Watching, doing a day-night cycle that actually adjusts the color of your background of everything in the elements. And this is fairly cheap, I believe. I'm just creating I think it's about a 48 by 32 pixel screen buffer, and I'm just drawing the new cry color to that. And it's fairly quick. I don't know if it's quick enough for a Zelda type game like this, but it'd be more than quick enough for Audit We'll Be Watching, or even Flappy McFur. I've been thinking about doing it for Flappy McFur as well. But anyways, pretty cool. It's a pretty cool effect. I also, in this demo, I figured out how to do, pretty sure I figured out. Let's see here. Oh yeah, there it is. How to do the glows, and you can actually make that a bit bigger, so you can do these cool, like lamp effects, like if you're down in a cave. Another thing I thought of that might be really cool for this is, especially for a Zelda game, if you're down in a cave and you have a pool of water and you have light in an imaginary ceiling coming down and hitting that pool of water, doing the reflections on the surface of the water. I think that would be pretty awesome. You could also just do the shadows too, and you create a tile map that transitions between the higher intensities and the lower intensities, and you overlay that on top of a flat blue, kind of like what you see here on the right side. And then I also have a shadow that you can test. So anyways, it's kind of cool to see how the glow works, especially with these bushes right here. Looks pretty cool. Really cool effect. So very, very cool for like real-time lighting effects. There is a disadvantage to this, and I may be wrong about this, but I was reading through the Jaguar SDK, the developer's manual, and I'm pretty sure you can't mix normal RGB with Cry. You have to go all in on the Cry color scheme, which looks fine. So the background is converted to Cry colors, and that was converted from an RGB image, and it looks great. It looks almost exactly like the original RGB, and so the other disadvantage to it is they're all 16-bit. You have to be working with 16-bit graphics, and the reason why that's a disadvantage is you could be saving cycles by using 8-bit in certain situations and 16-bit in other situations, and so basically all the low bit depth optimization that you could do for your game is gone. That's the one problem. And so something that you could do is you could reserve the Cry color space for specific scenes in your game that need it, and then everything else is 8-bit to save space on that. So there's still ways you can optimize for sure, but that's something to keep in mind if you use the Cry color space. Anyways, I have this little demo worked up with notes and everything, and I'm planning on eventually posting this on the website so these demos are available. Seb has quite a few example programs that you can look at for his library, but for specific things for more platform related things to the Jag, visual things, there's not a whole lot, and so I'm kind of building out these my own little demos for me for the future, so when I continue to work on games I can jump to these and relearn things if I need to, and also to provide some learning resources for other people who might be interested in making games for the Removers library or for the Jaguar in general. There's like in the notes in the source, I break down how Cry is separated. I may even how the Cry vectors are separated, so you can wrap your head around it and manipulate those vectors to create what colors you want. Yeah, and so it's really a teaching tool for this is something very unique to the Jag. I don't know of any other platform that does it like this, to create these cool it was specifically developed to do the ground shading in 3D to create that smooth fall off, that value fall off. Value is black and white, black to white. It's that gradient between black and white to easily and cheaply create that. But it also has this wonderful byproduct with 2D sprites that you can blend them together and do cool effects like this. So things like stained glass windows, God rays, glows, shadows, that kind of stuff. So anyways, back to the news. Sorry, that was a huge sidetrack. Let's go back to the news. There's a few more things I want to go through. Anyways, so he has a Zelda game. Phobos has a Zelda game. And then another piece, we're kind of highlighting him today. I'm not sponsored or anything. It's just he's been doing a lot. Asterite actually started. I got my notification for shipping, so I believe my copy's on the way. So here in a couple weeks, we'll probably demo Asterite on the stream. So look forward to that. I'm excited to play it. I'm not a huge Metroidvania fan. There's very few that have caught my attention long enough for me to complete the game. And so I hope this one does. It seems like it may be short enough to do that. I don't know, though. We'll read the manual and find out, get a sense of how long it is, and we'll go from there. I may just do a couple streams with it. We'll see. We'll see. If I really enjoy it on the first stream, we'll probably end up finishing it. If I don't end up joining it, we'll let it spend some time on the shelf. So it looks really good. He's obviously put a lot of work in it. Phobos is a talented guy. He does have another person helping him out. And I was just seeing if I could find a name, but I'm not seeing it. Helping him out with the graphics, and I think there might be somebody helping him out with the music as well. But and I'll highlight those people once we get a look at the manual. But yeah, so if you ordered that already, if you pre-ordered that, those should be on their way. If you haven't pre-ordered it, I'm pretty sure there will be some extra copies in this first run. Carl does things a little bit different than Atari Age. He does batches rather than made to order. And I think Atari Age kind of does that, but the guarantees are a little bit different there in terms of production. I mean, Carl will make them as long as there's interest as well, I'm sure. But he kind of does it. It seems like he does things in batches. So even if this batch runs out, be sure to do a pre-order, because that shows him that you're interested, or at least send an email and say, hey, I'm interested in this, so he can get a sense of how big of a batch his next batch should be and how quickly that should come around. So yeah, so look forward to that. We'll definitely be streaming that game. Another interesting topic that came up at Atari Age were these reproduction cartridges, and and I've talked about this on stream before. I'm typically against physical bootleg like this, particularly if people are selling it and making a profit off of it. And with Jag games, most people who are doing reproductions are obviously making money off of it. Anyway, Zero Square, he got his hands on a reproduction cartridge, and he explains how he got his hands on that. But he also took a look inside, and he does a kind of a pretty brutal breakdown of why you probably shouldn't buy these and why you probably shouldn't put this in your console. There could be some actual damage that occurs to your console. For example, one thing he brings up, there's no bevel along the cartridge edge, which can actually wear out your cartridge connector on your Jag. There's also some shortcuts taken in terms of materials, which change voltages and stuff like that, which could cause damage to your console as well. So if you've been buying reproductions, be very careful with these. I wouldn't put them in your console. Jags are they didn't sell a lot of them, and so and this may be a little bit hyperbolic, a little bit extreme, but using these cartridges, you're destroying your system or potentially destroying your system. And with how few there are of these consoles, I think that's something to really consider. I know there's some games that are ridiculously expensive, and so these reproduction cartridges are incredibly attractive to people who just want to play the games. But yeah, I would advise not doing that. But at least it wasn't full of developers' tears. Poor soldering is reminiscent of every bottom tier PCB I've ever seen assembled that came out of China and Hong Kong. Still better than soldering on the first skunk board I assembled. Did my first soldering recently, 9-volt connector to wire for active electronics on my 5-string bass. It worked, but it's more solder than now the musical instrument, Twisted and Evil. Anyways, I thought I'd bring that up. That's kind of a bit of a lower note than the other news, but I thought it was really interesting because they've always been common reproduction carts throughout the gaming, retro gaming sphere community at large, and so you're seeing more of these Jag ones. And here's the thing, there may come a time where they won't skimp out on parts, and they'll actually bevel the edge, and they'll use the right resistors and the correct EEPROMs and things like that. But it seems like they aren't doing that, and they're cutting corners to maximize profit, which is natural when you want to earn money. But yeah, definitely want to. My suggestion is to avoid those. Anyways, let's get to some Myst. If you're in the chat, shout out. this will, again, Myst is kind of a slow game, and so chatting is more than welcome. Let me switch over to the Jag and get the audio set back up. Maybe. Bet you heard that. Love that cyan logo. That used to scare me when I was a kid. That big rum. And then Myst in general. It was kind of a combination of that sound, that ominous sound of their logo, and then this. Pretty. It definitely has kind of a sad or dark, mysterious undertone to all of it.
I realized
hey, Matt,
the moment
good morning.
I fell
It's
into
good to
the
see you.
picture that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned.
Ready for
It
some
continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting
what I think is probably the most
I've
interesting
tried to
world.
speculate where it might have landed. I must admit, however, such conjectures
Welcome to the stream.
Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold mine.
I assume that's how you say your last name. Sorry if I messed that up.
I know my
Yeah,
apprehensions
that
might
cyan,
never
that
be
rum
allayed.
is really loud.
And so I
let me turn it
close,
down just a little bit
realizing
here.
that perhaps
Might be a little too
the
hot.
ending is not yet
there we go.
written.
Should be fine now. Okay. Let's pause. Gotta remember how to get to. Oh, is my memory track not working? I don't think my memory track's quite working. One sec. We're gonna restart. We're gonna reboot. Schmood. Good. Glad I got that. Oh, gosh, my controller keeps dropping. Okay. Let's give this another try. Sometimes my memory track doesn't get recognized when I start the game, so I've been meaning to buy a new one before the price skyrockets on those. They're sitting at about $50 or $60, which is still really expensive. Oh, maybe I needed to click one more time to get into the book. Okay, memory track, and it's just this A1, and I want to load. And resume game, press V to continue. Yep. Okay, we had just finished the Mechanical Age on the last episode. And so we're going to go to the Ship Age. I don't know what it's called, I forgot. We'll go take a look at the books really quick. I'm pretty sure there's a book for it. And I believe there's a clue too. So let's check that out. Let's check this first one. Can't remember. Call this age Channelwood. Nope, it's not this one. Let's check the next one. The next book that looks good. Emmett was the first to live on the rocks. I think this is the one. And he did capitalize that, so maybe it's called The Rocks. I don't think that's the name, but we'll use that for now. If I remember, we're not going to read all this, because that would be, I think, boring for most people. But the story is basically he finds this group of people that are being harassed by the black ships, if I remember what they're called. And, oh wait, no. That was the Mechanical Age. So I'm actually mixing things up. I don't remember what this one's about. Anyways, we won't be going through the whole thing, but I wanted to see if there's any pictures we can take a look at. Yeah, here we go. So there shows the ship. I was experimenting with the art. So the art in the Myst universe, if you aren't familiar, is the art of writing. And so the way the books work, well, at least at this time, I don't know if they had this completely defined in the story with the first game, but in later games, they define this more. And I may have this a little bit wrong. So if you're a diehard Myst fan, please correct me. But basically, you have these books. And these books and the writing within them represent these worlds that you can travel to. And I believe, if I remember right, at this time when this game first came out, this wasn't clearly defined, but the worlds do actually exist beforehand, and these books what they do when you write them and you use this very specific language and these specific inks on specific paper bound in a specific way allows you to connect to these worlds. For a long time, people thought that maybe you were actually creating these worlds. You were essentially a god creating these worlds. And I believe they've clarified as the games have gone on that you're not actually creating a world, but instead you are defining the type of world you wish to connect to. And so the idea is that there's this unlimited universe with unlimited possibilities, and so the book you create allows you to connect to a very specific possibility within that universe. And so anyways, so that's the art. The art is it's the writing, the language that you use, the words that you use, and I believe it's the inks that you use as well. And one other aspect to understand with this as well, I know I'm kind of nerding out about this, so let me nerd out about it. I really like Myst. So is linking books. And so you have your main book, which represents that connection to that world, and then you have these linking books that you take with you that allow you to come back to the world you came from. So those linking books are a short description or a partial description of whatever world you are currently in. I believe that's how it works. And that's how you can actually return to whatever world. And so you have your main book that you're linking to, and you can link to that world through that book. And then you have a linking book of the world you came from. You can go back to your world using those linking books. And so, anyways, it's kind of cool. Has this kind of meta thing going on where it's worlds within worlds within worlds. You can, and spoiler alert for a story that's quite old now. They wrote 3 books around the Myst universe, and in the 3rd book they actually go to the world that was before Earth, essentially. They find the actual linking book that exits the world that some person way long ago had linked to, which was Earth. And so they link back to that world, and they kind of find their progenitors, their where they came from. And it's an interesting story. It's a little shallow, that 3rd book. The 1st book's really good. I always encourage people who play Myst and Riven, the first 2 games, to make sure that they read the 1st book, because it really fleshes everything out. But let's see if there's anything else here. Oh yeah, so what is this? Submersible lamp. So there's something with the lamp that we're going to have to do in this next world. Something underwater. There's a lighthouse. Return with my tools to the construction of the lighthouse. I decided that once the lighthouse is completed, I will leave for some time and let the world's own imagination have control. We have worked 3 weeks on the lighthouse now and are making great progress. The rock that we are building on seems to not be as secure as I would have liked. I have had to alter my plans slightly, but those alterations pose no real problem. So there's light up on top. That's another clue, by the way, the lighthouse. The boys are quite strong. I've been helping. I'm just wondering if he mentions another clue. Rock in the hand. That evening we powered up the generator. So we have a lamp and a generator, so those are probably connected. Much to the boys' dread at first, and shined a great light on the horizon for many hours. I stayed the night in the top of the lighthouse, and in the morning awoke to observe the sunrise without my being being coated with the chilly blanket of ocean dew I'd become accustomed to. It was Will who first saw the girl. She was swimming not far from the boat where Will was getting ready. So apparently there's a bunch of people just appearing on the island. We won't see anybody when we go there, but I think we're almost done. Oh yeah, so he has a little layout here. Let's zoom out of the island that we'll be going to. And so the lighthouse is down here. There's some switches up here, and again, I've played this before, and so I'm kind of spoiling things. There it is. There's the name. Stone Ship Age. Bird's eye view. That's what that says in really broken cursive. So it's actually called, I'm writing this down so I don't forget, Stone Ship Age. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And we have what looks like part of a boat right here. underneath the water, and then there's this path. Oh yeah, in fact, there's two halves of a boat, it's really interesting. And then a pathway that goes up on top to something, and we'll check that out here in a moment. I think that may be. Oh no, he has a little bit more. My lighthouse has been kept in perfect condition. It looks as if they tried their very best to keep it up. So yet I have noted that the entire rock it was built on has sunk approximately 40 or 50 centimeters. That's probably another clue, but I've never noticed that before. After a wonderful visit with friends, I wonder aloud with them what things will be like here in another 10 years. Constellations. Oh, these are pretty important actually. We will need, we do need these actually. So, we have an anchor. We have an anchor. We may come back to these. An anchor. An eye, a snake, a spider, a cross, a arrow, a flamingo. I think that's a flamingo. Or a goose. And a leaf. It looks like that's it. So those are probably going to be important. Let's go get our first clue to accessing this world. The way we do that is we click on this little picture. Oh wait, no. Well, we can do this right now. Open this up so we can go up to the top of the tower to see the clue, but we need to rotate the tower here first before we can actually see it. So the ship is right here. Let's see what that gives us. Oh, it didn't lock there. Oh, did it? Maybe it did. Huh. Let's rotate it back around here really quick. There we go. Oh, it's pointing at the top of the mast. We'll go take a look at that after we get the clue, but before we do anything else. Oh, there was probably a zap or zoom option there that I didn't use. There we go. Door, go in. Close the door. And let's see, yep, let us go quickly up to our next place. If this is your first time here, I have something called, I think it's called Zap Mode turned on, and so it's basically a shortcut for movement. Allows you to skip quite a few scenes and sometimes videos, so you can just get around a little bit faster. If you want to see it without that mode, go to the first stream. I think I left it off so people could see what navigation is like. So we can see the top of the mast, whatever that's called. I don't know what that's called up at the top of the ship where a lookout would usually stand to see if there's any ships or land on the horizon. If we go to the other side of the tower, this way. Yep, there we go. You'll see that there's a key here, so this is the key to the first puzzle. And it looks like we have quite a bit of information here. We have some dates and some times. So we have October 11th, 1984, and the time is 10:04. What is it for, right? AM. And yes, this is one of those games where you have to write stuff down, unless you have a photographic memory. The second one is January 17th, 12:07. The year 12:07. 5:46 a.m. Then we have November 23rd. 9791. The year 9791. 6:57 p.m. Okay, just gonna double check this because I don't want to have to come back up here. Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, October 11th, 12:07. Yep, we're good. Okay, so we have our key. We just need to figure out where to put in our puzzle. Or where the puzzle is to use our key at. Let's head back down and head back outside and see what the island can show us. And I don't want to sound patronizing here while I kind of comment, but I can't help it. I've played this game many times, and so I'm trying to keep it a little bit mysterious for the audience. So forgive me if I kind of sound like I know things already, because I do. But I want to keep it a little bit spoiler-free as we go along. I'm also trying to keep things moving quickly as well, and so sometimes I will spoil things, sometimes I won't. Let's see here, we need to open this back up. You've probably been wondering what that fireplace is for. We'll be coming to that near the end of the game. So, do this. 1 second, I am going to... I just noticed my image is a little bit... Is it showing up on stream? Yeah, it's a little bit shaky. See if that fixes it. Yeah, that fixed it. Okay. For some reason, my OSSC gets a little... The image gets a little wobbly. And if I reset it, it's fine. I'm not sure what's doing that. It might be a ground problem or something. It could be my cable. Just needs to resync that signal because it's slightly off or something. I'm not sure. Okay, so before, on previous episodes, we saw that our ship, at least a model of our ship, was here being featured in this kind of garden area, or this, I don't know what you'd call this, just kind of an outside feature. So the ship is it's sunk right now. If we look here to the sides, we'll see that we have these boxes. And look at that. There's a picture of our snake. Looks like we can turn these on and off. And looks like there's 1, 2, 3. Let's see if I can turn around here. Not making it easy. 1, 2, 3. There's, I think, 3 on that side. And turn around. Oh, no. There's 4 on each side. So there's 8 of those symbols. And some of those symbols, I don't think there were 8. Were there 8 in the book? Something like that. So we know that those are part of the puzzle. I was going to go show you guys the ship here because we haven't really taken a look at it. I think we can kind of see it from up here. You'll see that the mast is underwater. And so those buttons over there by the model of the ship probably have to do with getting this ship up and out of the water. So there's another place we haven't looked at yet on the island. There were a few places, but one of them is here. There's this other building next to the library. Let's go check that out. Let's check it out. It's taking its dear sweet time to load. Ah. So we have a chair. Kind of looks like a dental office. What happens if we sit down? Click on this. Huh. Well, I think we found out where we need to input our keys. So let's do the first one here really quick and see what happens. October 11th, 1984. There's got to be a faster way to do this. Oh yeah, 1984. Yeah, so we can grab it to move a little bit faster. Let's go ahead and cycle down. Oh, you guys can see that way better on the stream. I can barely see those buttons on my monitor. I need to calibrate this monitor so it's a bit brighter. 1984. Gotta see. There we go, 1984, and we're looking at 10:04 a.m. 10:04, and we'll click this flashing button. Ah, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. I wonder why. Oh, look at that. There's a button. Let's try clicking that button. Ah, that turns off the lights. I'm not going to worry about closing the door. Let's go check it out now. Let's see if it kept our time. Nope, it didn't. We have to put that in. Oh, no, it's reloading it. Cool. So, if we click this... Did I get it right? Oh, October 11th. I got it wrong. Come on. There we go. Let's try that. Hey. And that looks familiar. That looks like our leaf from before. So I'm actually going to draw that out really quick. Just in a box. We have those 3 big stars. And then 2 smaller stars, and then what I think is a stem. Like that. Okay. My drawings are not amazing here, so I'm not going to show them off. Next one we have is January 17th. Make sure I get the day right this time. January 17th, 12:07. Seems like I can't even see that. I have to, there we go. 12:07. It's pretty sensitive. 12:07. Oops. Overshot it. There we go. 12:07, 5:46 a.m. 46. Overshot it. Overshot it. There we go. 5:46 a.m. Okay, let's see where that one is. So my guess is we just need to match these pictures up. And those are the buttons that we have to press. Do the next one. Did I get it right? January 17th, 12:07, 5:46 a.m. Yep. I don't recognize this one. So we have kind of a big star with some little stars next to it. And then one just slightly higher up there, and then a big star down in the corner. Not sure what that one is. Maybe it's a spider? I don't know. I honestly can't remember, so I'm not sure which one that one is. We're going to have to rediscover that. November, and the last one is November 23rd. November 23rd, 9791. See if I can land it. That's as close as we can. 9791. Yep. And 6:57 p.m. I can't see that. There we go. What is it? 6:57 p.m. Right there. 57. Traveling. Oh. That looks like our spider. So we got our 2 there. Got a mouth up in front. Got a couple for that, and then the back of the spider is kind of a triangle of stars like that. Okay. Okay, I think we're done here. It's pretty cool. There's this big star observatory. I imagine there's no way you could guess that because there's probably millions of possible combinations for that lock. And so you do need that clue in that book. I'm glad we took a look at the book. Or not the book, the tower. So. Okay, let's go take a look at that book again. Take a look at the book. The book. We will read the book. We will discover the secrets, and we will solve this puzzle. We have to navigate back to those constellations at the end. Thankfully, this loads fairly quickly off the CD. Be able to stream that data pretty quick. A map. Only a few more pages. There's our first constellation. So the only one I'm curious about is our middle one, because I'm pretty sure this is definitely not the anchor. Definitely not the eye. Oh, it's the snake. So yeah. So this is snake. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the snake, because you have the head. It coils down to that big star at the bottom, and then coils back up and comes down again. So pretty sure snake was the second one. And yep, spider was our third one. Spider, and I'm pretty sure the last one is the leaf, but yeah, definitely not that cross. Definitely not the arrow. Definitely not that bird. Whatever bird. Yep, it is definitely the leaf. So leaf. Okay, let's go push the buttons outside and see what happens. What time is it? 6:52. I'm doing good. Probably talked a little too much at the beginning of the stream, but I think an hour is all we'll need to get through the actual age. There is one tricky puzzle. It's not hard to understand. It's hard to know exactly which thing to press. We'll get to that. I'll show you that though. Okay, so we know the snake is one. That was the second one over here. Let's click that. Like that. So it's green now. That was, what was this one up here? That was the eye, I think. Let's see what's next to it. Oh, there's our spider. There's our spider. Let's check out the last one. Not the anchor. It's not that one. We need to find the leaf. Check this one out. Nope, not the arrow. They're definitely cheating the shadows there, so you can see that it's shadowed here, but when we get up close to it, it isn't shadowed. We can't even get to... it's not even going to let us go to this second one without navigating a little bit differently. Back on it. Just turn back. Turn back around. There we go, see if we can get this. It's not going to let me get it. We're going to have to walk up to this, then turn. Okay, check out this. There's our leaf. Okay. Something came up. Let's check it out. See what our little diorama looks like. There it is. Our ship is above the water now. So that must mean our big ship is above the water too. Let's go check it out. Oh yeah, there it is. I can zoom right down there. Pretty sure we're close to. Yeah, there's our ship above the water. Our Myst book should be in there somewhere. How it stayed dry, I don't know. We'll go see if it's just a big pulpy mess. Could be. And Atris will be out of luck. We won't be able to help him. Nope, it's fine. In fact, it's sitting on a nice velvet chair. Looks like velvet anyways. Oh, and that's interesting. These little icons on the chair, they kind of look like the icon on the door to the observatory. In fact, this kind of looks like it too, the doorknob thing there. It's interesting. Never noticed that before. It's because we have true color. Flying around some craggy looking rocks. There's our, it looks like our lighthouse, and then a pathway up there. Oh, it really doesn't focus on it, does it? Only kind of brushes past things. It doesn't really show you. That's interesting. Okay. Let us go to Stone Ship Age. Or the Rock, because it was capitalized. Well, got a pathway. We have something that looks like an umbrella over there. Looks like we have pathway down to the ship, but we can't go down. It looks like there might be water down there. And there's our lighthouse. Huh. Let's go check out the lighthouse. Atris seemed to be talking about it quite a bit. Looks like there's a broken window of some sort. Oh, he did mention that the lighthouse was sinking. Huh. And so maybe the only way to get in was by breaking the window. It looks like we got a lock up here. Can't do anything with that. Oh, we can look down and there's a key. And we can interact with it, but it doesn't go anywhere. It looks like there's more water there. Yeah, not much else we can do here. So my guess is there's probably something under the water. Oh, and look at that. Looks like there's a step that goes down. So yeah, it looks like we can go down somehow. Let's go check out the other platform. Can I fast travel to it? No. Huh. We have 3 buttons. That sounds maybe like a pump. Let's see what that first button does. In fact, I'm going to write this down. I'm going to draw a picture of these buttons. Just really quick. Yeah, there we go. Buttons. So call them pump buttons. Okay, so we're finding out what the first button does. Let's check first here. Oh, it looks like it got rid of the water here. Can I go in here? Oh, I can't. Ooh, it's pretty dark down here. Gosh, I can't even see it on my screen. I have to look at the stream here. You guys can see a lot more than I can. Oh, yeah, so it looks like there's something out in the water there. That might be our lamp. And there's a table or something? Doesn't look like I can interact with much here. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's much here to look at. Can I go over here? Nope. It's really dark. Guess, Oh yeah, there looks like there's another lamp right there. Can I interact with anything? I don't think I can. It's kind of just sending me back up to... yeah, it's just sending me around the stairs. So let's go back up the stairs. Dataset user, good morning. Hi there. Oh, Myst continues. Great stuff. Yep, it's pretty good stuff. Hopefully we'll get through another age today and get through the last stage tomorrow and hopefully finish the game tomorrow. I'd like to beat it tomorrow. In fact, I kind of want to beat it tomorrow, so tomorrow may be an extra long stream. We'll see. It's 7 o'clock right now. I have about another hour and a half on this. We'll definitely get through this age before then. Okay, so that first button clears the... we're going to call this backup ship. Back of ship. Let's check out these other doorways here really quick. Oh, that is really dark. I can't even see that on my screen. I have to look at the stream. So it looks like there's water there too. So the one of the other buttons must clear that out. Let's see if we can see if the second button does that. Oh, you can't fast travel. Boom. Okay, so this is button 2. Let's see what this clears out. It's not going to be the back of the ship, of course. Does it happen to be this? Okay, so it seems to be the rock. So we're going to call this the rock. Clears out the water in the rock. That's what Atris called it in the book anyways. And I have to watch the stream on this because I cannot see this on my monitor at all. Oh, look at that. There's a button. We found a room. And it's pretty fancy. And we know from the previous worlds if it's fancy, it's probably Cirrus's room. Get a nice fancy bed. Oh, a chest of drawers. Can we open up these? Oh, yep. Oh, yep. And we know Cirrus likes money too. And jewels. Definitely fitting the MO here. Got his dishware to, I guess, entertain people, have meals with people. Oh, look at that. I don't know if you guys remember this symbol. We saw this symbol in one of the other books a few streams ago when they were talking about the black ships. But that was in the mechanical age. That's kind of interesting. Wonder why he would have a pattern for that here. Okay, close. Close. Do the third one down. Nothing in there. Come on. There we go. And the last one. Hey, there's our red page. We'll do that. Local Ladens, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Good morning. Or good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on where you are. So we're going to take that red page because we are going to complete Sirius's book. We are not doing anything with Aknar for this playthrough. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else. Can I go up to these globes? Oh, look at that. Oh, they do something. If I hold the button down, it looks like it rotates. Kind of hard to tell what it actually is. Definitely a globe of some sort. Wonder if the other one has. Is there anything? I don't see anything with these chairs. Oh, there's another desk. Let's check out this other globe first. See if there's any difference. Oh yeah. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. It looks like clouds or maybe water. Oh no. Interesting. Ah. What's this? Whoa! 3D. That's pretty cool. Is there anything on? Huh. Just does the same thing. Interesting. It's having a little bit of a hard time reading that off the disc. Yeah, it doesn't look like there is a drawer here though, with what looks like drugs or poison and a knife. Looks like both brothers take part in torture or killing people. Upstanding citizens for sure. Well, I don't know if there's much else to look at here. Let's turn around one more time. Wasn't really anything for the bed. I think we might be done here. So let's head up. Head back up. It's pretty dark here. Yeah, I got that rock. There. Let's walk over here to the other side. We haven't really checked that out yet. This is the front of the boat. Ah, look at that. There's another entrance. Let's check this out. Again, I need to look at the stream because I can't see it up on my monitor. It's pretty dark. I'm just clicking, and it looks like... Is this the same place? No, it's a different place. This is probably Akinar's room, yep. You got bones and all sorts of fun stuff. Huh. Let's go take a look at the bones. Looks like we have, again, some poisons or something. Can we look at those? No, it's just backing off. Oh, another chest of drawers. Got these tribal masks on the side. Those are kind of cool. Akinar definitely has a different spirit about him. Oh, what's this on top? There's a green button. Ooh, it's a rose. Looks like we have a lover or something here. Oh, that's cool. So, a rose to a skull. How macabre. That's fun. Turn it off. It's kind of cool. It's cool. Let's check out what's in these drawers. We have way more drawers this time. It's like a map of some sort. Can't really tell what it is though. There might be a tree of animals, like a, I don't know what that's called, an evolutionary tree. There's a map. Huh. And another map. Lots of maps. Another map. They always put their secrets in the bottom drawer, don't they? Another map. Are there any Jaguar exclusive parts in this game, or is it a straight port? So this may be the first version that has the quick travel. In terms of parts of the game, like actual locations, I think it's the same. Pretty sure it's the same. In later releases, they added another world or another age called Rhyme. This version does not have that. Ooh, look at that. The other thing that they added was, so it isn't a direct port in terms of the visuals. The visuals are actually quite different. This is the first true color version of the game. So before this, the Windows 90, well, the Mac version, and I don't know if they ever had this for, they must have had it for DOS. It came out in 93? But the first Windows version, they were running just 256 color, so 8-bit color. Paletted 8-bit color, I assume. And so it wasn't quite as vibrant as this version of the game. The other thing that's quite different that I've noticed in this version is the books. The books if I remember right, in the original version, you couldn't zoom up on them and read the text. And so that zoom function on the Jag is unique to the Jag version as well. There's probably some more subtle changes that I'm just not familiar with in terms of navigation, like how you navigate the world. It's possible that they've adjusted some of the models and stuff and the pre-rendered things to work a little bit better, to be a little more visually obvious. And there may be some other slight differences as well. I imagine they probably had to make some... Oh, there was something with one of the videos. I can't remember. It wasn't quite as smooth, so that technically wasn't an update. It was probably... That would be considered a regression. There was somewhere in the previous streams. I mentioned it. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was quite different than how I remembered the original version, so... The vault is locked. So if you remember, I think it was last stream, we found... I think it was the other half of this note. Actually, it was 2 streams ago, because I think that was in Channelwood. But there was half of this note, the other half of this note. And it was talking about switches, and you had to make sure that all the switches were on, and then you switched one of them off, if I remember right. The vault is locked. The island of, I assume, Myst achieved every something. Instructions are something. Each of the markers, so the markers are those switches, turn every one of them to the on position. That's probably what he's saying. And then as a final step, and in the last note it said turn off one of them, and I think that was the dock one. He talks about the last one at the dock. So we actually have the solution to this puzzle now, is we turn on all the switches, which I think they're all on now, and we go turn off one. Maybe we'll go check that out after this age. Or maybe we'll wait until we finish all the ages. I'm not sure. Interesting thing. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, the Jag version, I've actually never beaten the Jag version. I grew up with this. I remember my siblings playing it, but I never beat it. The first time I beat Myst, I think, was... it was about 10 years ago. And I think it was a Steam version of the original version. And I don't know, that one may have been True Color as well, because they re-released Myst in like 98, and it was called the Masterpiece Edition, sometime around that time, and it was True Color, and it was higher resolution, and I think it was higher resolution than this. And so the Jag version may be unique that it's True Color, but still 320 by 240. So it has some unique parts to it that make it worth playing. Okay, so is that the last drawer? I think that was the last drawer. Oh no, one more map at the very bottom. Okay. Well, enough of that. Is there anything else we can look at in this room? Looked at the skeleton. Oh, there's the blue page. We aren't collecting the blue page though, so I'm not too worried about that. Man, his sheets are grody. I think that's it. Looks like it. I don't know if I can look at these lamps. They're kind of off to the periphery. Let's go back up. I'm just clicking because I can't see anything. There we go. Okay, let's go push the last button. So we know the first button clears out the back of the ship here, and the second button clears out the water inside the rock. And so the third button, my guess, is probably for the lighthouse. Let's go check that out. Fast travel is really nice. I can just go. Yep, there we go. So let's look at the key. Oh yeah, we can just go down right here. Let's go down and check it out. Whoops, I did not want to turn around. Ah, looks like a chest. Obviously our key probably needs to go there. And it looks like there's a valve or something. Oh, yep, we're letting out water. That's why the chest wasn't floating. It was down at the bottom. It was filled with water. So if we close this again, it should lock the air in there. We should be fine. That's how we bring the chest up to the key. Is we fill that with air, and then can I fast travel? I don't think I can fast travel. So if we return the water by clicking another button, oh, that fast travel's nice. So let's just click the second one. And there we go. Our chest is right next to that key. So now we should be able to click on the key, open that up, and it gives us another key. A little contrived, if you ask me. But we have a key now. Oh, I hope we didn't lose our red page because we picked up that key. We may have lost our red page. If you lose the page or you pick up another page, you can only carry one thing at a time. It just sends the page back magically to the location where you originally found it. Yep, I lost it. So I'm going to have to go get that again. That's okay, we can go do that. And we're up at the lighthouse. Up inside the lighthouse. Ah, what is this? We have a battery. Looks like we can charge it maybe? Oh, I need to hold it down, I think. Yeah, there we go. I don't know how long I need to hold it down for. Looks like the batteries there. There might be an indicator or something. We'll take a look at that. Yeah, there we go. So I assume that's full. I should have looked at it beforehand, huh? Oh yeah, it's going down. So that must turn on the lights here. Down in the cave is my guess. Or maybe down in the ship. Let's go take a look. Well, let's go check out the caves first, since that's the button I have pressed. And I need to write down a note here. Lighthouse. For the last button. Okay. Let's check this out. Check it out. Oh yeah, look at that, the lights are on. Well, let's grab that red page, and then we'll come up and take a look at this. See if there's anything interesting in the hallway that we couldn't see before. Where is that page again? Is it in the drawers? Maybe in the drawers. Nope. Come on. There. And it was it the last one down? I think it was the last one. Yeah. There we go. We got it. Oh wait, I don't want to fast travel. Let's see if there's anything. Don't want to fast travel. See, it just wants to default to fast traveling. Nothing interesting there, just a light. Oh, there's something right there. What is that? Ah, we found a secret tunnel. This probably takes us back over to the other hallway where the other brother's room is. Oh, nope. Oh yeah, it does. I think it does anyways. There's another pathway there, but there's something right here. What is this? That's north. It's a compass. With, I think those are buttons. What happens if we click these? Oh! And the power went out. I can't see anything up on my monitor. I can kind of see stuff here. So that must kill the power if we click the wrong one. So let's see if we can get out of here. Oh, at least we have a blue light. That's nice. Well, there's the room. Don't want to go in there again. There's a blue light flashing. Ah, fast travel. There we go. Okay. So let's go recharge. Well, it doesn't help to recharge the battery until we know which button to press. We've been pretty much everywhere except for the top of the rock, which we can go to taking this path. So let's go up there and see if there's a clue. There's a spyglass up here. Look at that, there's a number. Ah, interesting. So we have degrees up there. And how can you calculate a circle? Or how do we measure a circle? We measure it in degrees, right? The angle in a circle. So these could represent buttons. Question is which one? Let's take a look. Ah, there's something. So at 115, that looks like the mass of the ship at about 115. So I'm just gonna go 115 degrees mast of ship. Let's see if there's anything else. Ah, the top of the lighthouse. Now, if we want light and the lighthouse, that's probably it, is my guess. So 135 degrees is the lighthouse. I should have counted the buttons before I pressed them. My guess is they probably go in measurements of 5 degrees. Let's just continue around, see if there's... Oh, there's the other mass. At about 180. So 180 degrees mass of ship. There we go. Anything else? Bunch of rocks. So those probably aren't important unless they have something important on them. Yep, I don't see anything else. So it's going to be one of those three, and I imagine it's the lighthouse. So let's go recharge the battery. Can I quick travel? It's not letting me quick travel. Got a good view from up here, though. It's a neat looking place. Can't fast travel there. To walk forward one more and then turn. It's a little silly. Back up here. Charge the battery for a bit. Charge, charge, charge. Okay, I think we got it. I heard another sound there. Make sure it's up. Oh no, we have a little bit more to go. Thought I heard a slightly different sound, and I thought that might indicate that it's charged. Let's check it now. Okay, we're full. Let's head back to that little hidden room and try 130, the button at 135 degrees. Try not fast travel here. Go down the steps, don't fast travel. Find that switch again. Or, oh, I guess it's open already. Okay. Can I, oh yeah, I can fast travel. Boom. Okay, so if that is 0 degrees, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, or duh, I just need to do this 90 degrees. That's 90 degrees. Oh, that makes this difficult, doesn't it? So is it, or sorry, that's, yeah, that's 90 degrees. Because 45 would be that. 5. So let's see here. 10, 20, 30, 40. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Well, that doesn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. That doesn't work. Well, it's a bit confusing. So this is 180 for sure, right? And that has to be, this has to be 90. So it's gotta be, let's see here, 45. Oh, it's gonna be halfway between those. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. It's probably this one. Ah, yeah, got it. Nice. We are lucky to get that on the first try. Because those aren't divided as you would think in 5-degree intervals. Because there's only between one point and another, within the 90 degree, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Which you cannot divide 90 by 7 evenly. And so you kind of have to, yeah, well, 35 is just, it's a 45 degree angle between 90 and 80 degrees. And so it'd be halfway. It'd just be, yeah. So they made that tricky. If I had not played this before, I probably would have hit the wrong button for sure. But, oh, yep, and our lamps are on. You can probably see both now. Imagine there's 2 lamps, yeah. Or maybe just 1. Okay, let's, so there was one room that was darkened, but we thought we saw lamps, and that was the back of the ship. Come on. Fast travel. So we need to go press the first button on the pump, because we need to be able to get down there. First button. Well, it's only 7:30 here, and I'm pretty sure this is the end of this age. Yep, there we go. That is emptied, and we should have lights down there. It looks like we do, too. Yep, lamps are turned on. I can actually see it up on my screen. Huh. And we have an empty table. Can we look at it? Yeah, we can look at it. Oh, clicked on it. Oh. And it morphs out of the table. You know that little morphing thing on Sirius's desk? That's probably the clue for this. Man, that's pretty abstract. I don't think most people on their first time through would know that. That is really abstract, but we got our Myst linking book here, so we can return to Myst. Back staring up at that ceiling because we just got off of our trip, right? We're laying down on the floor. Ooh, that was rough. Okay. Okay, so, oh, red page. Let's go listen to Sirius, see if he's a lot clearer this time. I'm going to turn it up here a little bit so I can hear him.
With each page I can see more clearly. Soon, be free from this horrible prison, this book. You must visit the one remaining age. You have not.
You have just one more age.
And my brother is guilty. He took advantage of the freedom our father had given us. I cannot begin to. I ask you again.
Okay.
Do not retrieve the blue pages.
Oh, I'm not doing
He
that.
will destroy both myself and you, just as he destroyed the other pages of Myst. Never will escape. You must simply bring the red page. Tell them the story that I, your wisdom, you will see that I am innocent and he is guilty.
Well, I don't think we're gonna find out. Well, maybe at the end of the game
This
we'll.
forgotten island long ago.
We
I
done?
will owe you my life, and you will be greatly rewarded.
It's gonna reward us if we save him, right? Okay, he's done. So yeah, we'll maybe at the end I'll show you we'll be able to see at least a couple. Well, we could actually see 3 different endings at the end of this game, and so maybe we'll go through that if I have time tomorrow. But, okay, let's get into the next age, which shouldn't be too difficult. Let's go see if there's any clues first in the books on the shelf. I can't remember what this one's called. Is it this one? This was probably the mechanical age, if I remember correctly. People are traveling. Time passing. Yes, this is the mechanical age. So this is the wrong book. So it's probably this one. It has been a while since I've heard only silence, and I enjoy it greatly. I think for some reason I do not feel altogether welcome in this new world in which I have arrived, but how could I be unwelcome in an age with no inhabitants? It is, of course, only in my head. This world is very beautiful, but I think I have yet to ever write in a journal that an age I have linked to is horrid or disgusting. From the grassy hill where I am standing, I can see green fields below, along with a few scattered forests. Okay, so it's just talking about the world. I don't want to read all this. Explosions. It looks like the world has some issues. Gigantic craters. Grassy hill. Looks like the grassy hill disappears at some point. The lake now exists, appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume falling meteors. Yeah, so it looks like this age that we're going to be going to has gone under some massive changes. It offers much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I found where a few of them originate. It seems, as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. Last night I was awakened by a horrible hissing. I was sweating, and the heat was so intense that I immediately dipped my head in a nearby stream to cool it down. The hot breezes had returned, along with a low roar from the ground. Anyways, so it looks like there's some sounds. Ah, darn it. Let's go through that again. I don't think there's any way to... Oh, look at that. You can hold down A, and it brings up this other icon, so you can quickly flip the pages. That's nice. I never knew about that. Ah, there's a picture. Looks like something's heating a fan, some sort of engine. Surface of the world has opened up a whole new world to explore. Although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that had been created and have now explored deep into the crust of the planet. I have found a vast underground cave system. It will take many years to map and explore. Yeah. I will also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the chasm wall. This age seems to change on its own, so I feel I should leave again and see if things are different when I return. It is also important that I check Sirius and Achenar and make sure everything is going along well. When I return, I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. The abundance of raw materials here is beginning to amaze me. I've returned with some of the complex tools I knew I would be needing. I assumed I would have to return for more basic materials. Okay, he's just talking about coming back. Most of the additions are completed. Yep, and we have some faded pages. Here we go. We have some sort of rotating mechanism. And then a radar dish. 3 meters is not enough support for the beams. Amazingly strong. So I don't know if you've noticed in the background, walking back towards the library, you can see that there's a rocket ship off to the left side. So that's part of what we need to do here. Most prized inventions. I am extremely something. Could have ever imagined it would come together. So this is kind of pointless text. I doubt could possibly work with 14 instead of 8. That might be a clue. Completely fatigued. I'm so happy to have completed. Tomorrow I'll be leaving today. I believe they will enjoy all their age seems to be stabilized. I believe the meteors set off a period of volcanic activity by piercing into the shallow crust, but the tremors have become few. I've just noticed that a large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the very pages on which I wrote over the last 18 months. Fortunately, I have copied many of my construction notes in another journal. I do not understand the many mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover logical answers to my question. I have a feeling that many of my questions can be answered in another age, to which I hope to travel soon. But for now, I must simply accept the world's mysteries and take pride in my accomplishments. And we do have another puzzle here. So it is a piano keyboard, a numbered one, and I'm gonna have to. So what I'm gonna do, did he have a name for this? We missed it, so I'll leave that blank for now. So the first key is a C, so I'm just gonna go 1:C. 2. Oh, I guess I don't need the numbers. So C. Actually, I'm going to call this C1 because it's the first C on the keyboard. And then 2 is C2. So C2. C2. There we go. Comma. 3 is D sharp. D sharp 2. Yes. Wait. Yeah, I think it's our second D sharp on the keyboard. Yeah. So D sharp 2. Yeah, D. D sharp 2. And then 4 is G2. Or sorry, F2. F2. I can kind of read music, and so I do know where the notes are on a keyboard. And 5 is A sharp. A sharp 1. A sharp 1. Okay. I don't know where this keyboard is, but maybe we should go check out the rocket ship. But before we do that, let's get the key for this one. We did walk over to the rocket ship. Now that I remember, in the first stream, we had to flip the switch on. So let's actually open this up first, because we'll need to go up into the tower after we rotate the tower. So let's rotate it over to, I assume, is the rocket ship. So we have this over here. We need to rotate it over to. Wants to wait until that sound is done before it loads anything else. And fast travel. Oh, that's nice. That fast travel, so nice. Does speed things up considerably. I wonder if that fast travel would actually be confusing if you've never played the game before. So it's good that it's an option. So it's good that it's. I need to turn this down. Sorry, I had the volume up way too high. I turned it up for Cirrus when he was talking. So we're not going to go up. Well, let's take a look at the rocket ship. We kind of get a unique perspective up here at the top of the tower that you don't get to see anywhere else. So yeah, there's the rocket ship. The tower is like right behind it, so it's really close to it. I'm sure they're cheating the view there. You would actually have to peer out of that hole and kind of down to see it because it's so close to the tower. But if it were a little more realistic. I recall reading an interview or hearing something at the Mysterium conference where they talk about cheating that. Somewhere, I read it somewhere. I think I read it somewhere anyways. Okay. Well, this doesn't make much more sense. 59 volts. Let's write that down. 59 volts. What does that have to do with the piano keyboard? Probably not much. There is one place on this island we haven't gone yet. I don't know, for those who've been watching this, I don't know if you've spotted it. We're going to go check it out right now, though. So let's get back down. I'll show you where that is. Do that fast travel again. Okay. Oh, whoops. Forgot to fast travel. I don't think it's going to let me do it now. Oh, there we go. I'll open this door back up. 59 volts. So we got to power something up. It's nice having the fast travel on that animation too. The animation does take quite a bit of time. So if you remember down here, if we travel down here towards the clock tower, there's this other structure back here on the right. We haven't explored that yet. I think we turned the switch on. Oh no, we haven't. Have we turned the switch on? It showed it was down there. It's possible they just didn't update that. No, we turned it on, so it's up. So we've seen this building before. We turned the switch on previously, but we didn't go down here to explore. So let's head down here and see what mysteries await us. Another door with a button to push. Something's lighting up back there. Oh, looks like a generator room. Wonder if this is connected to the rocket ship. So we have a bunch of buttons here. Let's try clicking one. So I'm guessing this is probably voltage. And I don't understand why there's two dials showing the same thing. Here, let's do this. My guess is that these buttons equal specific values. So we have 10 buttons. And I'm just going to draw a little diagram here of those 10 buttons. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that first one, and I'm just going to go through these one at a time. So that first one is 10. And hopefully it's as simple as adding these up. That one's 7. And what I'm going to do is once I know what these all are, I'm going to figure out a set of these that will give us 59 volts. 5. So there's our first 5 buttons. 1. I imagine that one's probably going to be important. 2. There's probably multiple ways to get this. 22. It's confusing that there's 2 dials. I honestly don't remember why there's 2 dials. I know what I do remember, and this is a bit of a spoiler, because I'm trying to get through this quickly. The first time playing this, what you'll probably do is you'll overload the system, and what will happen is everything will shut down and you won't be able to push the buttons anymore. Well, the last one's 9. And you have to go reset the system. And for a first-time player, this would be really confusing because the way you reset the system is kind of hidden. You have to go back out, and then there's a tower between this building and the rocket ship with a wire running between it, and so the wire's connected to that tower, and there's a reset switch that you have to pull there, a breaker switch is I think what you would call it. So anyways, let's see if we can figure out how to get to 59. So I'm going to take the big numbers here. So 19 plus 22 is 41. 19 plus 22 is 41 plus 16 is 57 plus 2 is 59. So that should work. So plus 16 then plus 2 equals 59. So if we hit those, that should work. And I think there's multiple combinations here, but let's just do this one. So 19 is button 9, 22 is button 8. That works. And then button 4 is 16, 57, and then button 2 is button 7. Or 2 is button 7. So 59, that should do the trick. I don't think there's anything else we can do here. I don't see any other buttons anyways. Oh, look at that! There's a chart! And it doesn't look like it's useful. It's just numbering the switches. So power to spaceship. So that's the clue to know that this is connected to the spaceship. They do that a lot in Myst, where you walk into a room and then there's a clue that you can only see by turning back around. I should be doing that, I guess. But anyways, let's go check out the spaceship. See if we can do something with that. Because I think we tried getting into it before when we went to flip the switch, and we couldn't get inside of it. Can I fast travel here? Okay. Fast travel here? Nope. Can I fast travel? There we go. So that's the tower I was talking about, and you can see the ladder poking up there. So you'll see that, I guess. It's fairly obvious if you're observant enough. But yeah. Go see if we can get inside of the rocket ship. So I don't believe we could do that before. Click on the door. Yep, there we go. Oh, what do we have here? So we have switches. That make sounds. So kind of like the sounds a keyboard makes. So we have 5 of those, which corresponds to the 5 notes that we found in the book. hopefully I don't have to guess the sound. And then we have a switch here, which I assume just, yeah, it executes the song. So those 5 notes. And there's our keyboard. See, there was that turnaround trick again. Okay, so this will give us the tone. And forgive me, you're going to hear an echo here because I'm going to have to hear the tone on my TV, coming off my TV. So the first note was C1. Do. I'm going to sing here a little bit in the microphone. Do, do, do. Do. There it is. There's our first one. Our second one is C2, so it's the next C up. I could probably guess that. Do. 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 Do the do. Okay. Do. There it is. Next one, our third one is D sharp 2. So it's the second D sharp on the keyboard. D sharp or E flat. So it's this one. Do, 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 do the do. There it is. Which makes sense. It looks like it's 2 steps above where we were. Then F2, the second F on the keyboard. F2. So there's an F right here, so it's this F. Do, 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 do. There it is. Close to it. And then A sharp 1. So it's the first A and the sharp. If I can hit it. Do, do, do. Close enough. Okay, I'm going to turn the volume back down on my TV because I think I got it right. And we're going to pull the switch. Ah, we got it. Awesome. And there's our book. And for some reason this age, you only have to click on the screen, this screen rather than the book itself, I think. Maybe. Oh yeah, and it shows us a fly around of the world. Again, not revealing too much, just some random blocky rocks. And you can kind of catch glimpses of things like a pathway. I think there's a tower or something. Yeah, a tower, a couple things. But anyways, let's go in there. And I'm going to save after we go in here. And we're going to call that a stream. After I save. Wait a second. We're still in the spaceship? Respect for getting those notes right on the first try. Yeah, sorry I had to subject you to my obviously wonderful singing voice. But yeah, I got it on the first try. That one is kind of hard to get on the first try. I think the last time I played this was the recent re-release of Myst, and I got it wrong like 3 or 4 times. I couldn't get it right. And so I'm a little practiced now. Hey, our keyboard's still there. Can we go play it still? Nope, doesn't let us play it. Interesting. But we are in a different place. So I don't know if the spaceship traveled or if we went through the linking book. It's a little bit confusing. So it is a bit confusing because back when this game was first released, they hadn't worked out all the details with the books yet. They were still kind of thinking through that. Anyways, I'm going to save right here. We got a mysterious fog that awaits us. So yeah, we're gonna. Oh, that's cool. The backgrounds are different for each world here. So, um, Wilco Ladens, he asked if there was some differences here, and I had no idea that the backgrounds were different here on this menu. So they change depending on the world that they go to, and so this kind of noise or cloud texture that you see here is there are some rocks later in this world that have this texture. So each of the worlds must have a unique texture to look at. That's cool that they went through the trouble to build those. I almost want to go into each world now and see what the background is. Maybe we'll do that at the beginning of tomorrow's stream. Anyways, I'm going to save. Over this one, save. A, and B to continue. We should be saved. Cool. And that will be it for today. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for chatting a little bit, and yeah, we'll continue this next week. Not much else to talk about. Be sure to those who pre-ordered Astrite, look forward to that. That should be showing. Hopefully, that'll be showing up this week sometime. Maybe I'll do a special stream. Well, I won't be able to do that this weekend. I'm going to be heading out of town this weekend. Great stream. Catch you on the next one. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for joining me. Thanks, Datasite User, for coming. Wilco Ladens, thanks for coming. D. Schmood, thanks for coming as well and chatting with me. It was good. Hopefully we'll be able to finish up the game tomorrow. I think we'll be able to. So I am going to cheat in this age. There is a section of this age that it's a maze, essentially. And it's a very difficult to navigate maze. It's a lot of trial and error, and so I'm actually going to just look up the tutorial for that, and we're going to go through that as quickly as possible. It is pretty boring otherwise, and I have done it manually before, and I feel like I've gone through that rite of passage. Don't need to do it again. So every time I've played this game since I did that, I've just looked up a walkthrough because it isn't worth the trouble. In the most recent release of Myst, the nice 3D VR version that they have, they have a new mode for this game where it mixes up all the puzzles, so it changes the answers for all the puzzles. And I haven't tried that yet, specifically because of the one thing in this age, the maze part in this age. Yeah, we'll skip that. I don't want to deal with that. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. I think that was everybody. Yeah, thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and that newsletter. Sign up for that newsletter if you haven't done it yet. I really do appreciate that. We have all these platforms and stuff, but you just don't know if things are going to change in the future, if people will move over to another platform eventually or not. And so having that email list is pretty important for me. So yeah, if you'd sign up for that, I'd really appreciate that. And I'll stop shilling for myself, but I just want to make sure people are aware of that come and join the streams. With that being said, have a great day, or a great night's sleep if you're on the other side of the world. I know I have some people on the other side of the world that watch. So yeah, regardless, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.